Hi, and welcome to Inside Beauty with the Old Girl. I have a great video for you today. I have 7 beauty tips, tricks, and hacks to share with you. So let's get going. So as I said, I have 7 beauty tips, tricks, and hacks to share with you. Now I got these tips, tricks, and hacks off of the internet, off of watching other YouTube videos, or reading it in a magazine, or from Allure, things like that. And I have used 6 out of the 7. I'll let you know which one that I don't use when I get to it. So let's get started. Okay, so the first thing is, which I've always done, is do your eye makeup first. And the reason for that is, for people that wear, eyeshadows and all that, I don't wear much of that, so it doesn't really apply, but I do wear some, and you get a lot of fallout. So if you've already done your foundation and everything, then as you're putting the shadows on, it can fall down on your face. You have to clean it up, and you're touching your face a lot, trying to hold things in place as you're applying your mascara or eyeliner or whatever it may be. And so those are some of the reasons. But a reason for me is whatever I put on my eyes is going to dictate what I put on my face and my lips. And again, I normally just use a bronzer for an eyeshadow, or maybe some kind of pink or something light. But that helps me then do my face. So that's the reason I do it. All right, number 2. Let me check and see what that one I have. Okay, and that one is using setting using setting powder only where needed. You don't have to powder your whole face, especially if you are wearing powder products. You already have powdered bronzer on or powdered blush. You don't need powder on top of that, especially at a more mature age, like almost 69 sitting here. So I don't need it. So it's best to just take a brush, any size brush you want, and just powder where you think you need it. And for most people, that's what they call the T-zone. Maybe your nose, or right here, or here, or here. Just lightly, right where you think you need it. But you really do not need it all over your face. At least I don't at my age. You may be different. All right, the next one is about the beauty sponge. When we use our beauty sponge, and a lot of us do use these, and of course you wet them, it really makes a difference if you use warm water. I mean, pretty warm water, whatever you can stand. For some reason, that just kind of melds everything together. It helps your product go on smoother and tap in better. And I have really noticed a difference. I never put it under warm water before I learned of this. I would just run it under cold water and then squeeze out the excess. But I've noticed a big difference when I put it under pretty warm water. So you might want to try that and see if it works for you. Okay, let's see what else I have here. Okay, to get your makeup to last longer, if you wear cream products like I do, cream bronzer, cream blush, highlight, etc., then when you go to put your powder on, just stipple it on with a stippling brush of some kind. Just lightly go into your powder, and that's when you may want to put powder on most of your face because you have no other powder products on it. And just dip it into the powder and just lightly stipple it where you feel like you need it. And that really helps set those cream products, and it really gives a really beautiful finish, at least in my opinion. And it works that way for my skin, so I thought I would share that with you. Okay, let's go on to the next one. Let me see. Oh, this is the one that I don't use, and I'll tell you why. When using liquid foundation, let your first layer dry completely before you put on a second layer. And it is better to put on thin layers as we get older and our skin is more mature than to put on one thick coat. It's just way too cakey. But the reason I don't use it is because I don't wear much makeup, and I would have no reason to put 2 layers on because I don't want that much coverage. But it makes perfect sense to put a thin layer on, let that dry real good, and then if you feel you need more coverage, then put a second thin layer on. And then I think you'll achieve the level of coverage that you're looking for. And that's a lot better than using a thick, maybe all matte, full coverage foundation when you're of mature age. Let's put it that way. When you're an old girl. That sounds better. Okay, and I think I have 2 more. Oh yeah, to avoid cake face. If you use a setting spray, here's, I think this is the Shake and Glow. If you use a setting spray, put some on, spray it on, just a light coat, and let that dry a little, just till it's a little bit tacky. When it's still just a little bit tacky, then take your beauty sponge and just kind of gently press that into your face. Just like that. That's one way. And another way, when you're using a setting spray, you can just spray the end of a fluffy brush, just spray it on there, and then again, just kind of tap that in around your face. And that works very well too. And the last beauty tip I have is, oh, I love this one. I should have had this one in my head. And that is, for your foundation, whatever you use, if you want a dewy look or just a more moisturized light look, try putting a little bit of your moisturizer on the back of your hand. I'm just using this CeraVe, and rub that around a little, and then take your brush, whatever foundation brush you want to use, and dip that into that, and then dip it into your foundation or your beauty blender. You know, dip that in and dip it into your foundation. Or you can swirl it around together. And that really makes a difference. That's what I've done. I've put the CeraVe moisturizer on, put a little bit of foundation, kind of rubbed them together, and then took a brush and went over. And I just loved it. I felt so moist. I didn't have that dry feeling because I am very dry. I do have dry skin, and my skin is, well, will be 69 years old in about 6 weeks. So that really makes a difference for me. Well, that's all the beauty tips, tricks, and hacks I have for you. Hopefully I'll learn some more along the way, and I'll be glad to share them with you. And now I want to give you an inside beauty tip. And this is going to be on encouragement. You know, based on what's going on today and the situation that we're all in, I think we all need a little bit of encouraging, well, probably a lot of encouragement. So let me just go over a couple things with you. I think I've mentioned before, during a crisis or any type of adversity, which is uncomfortable, none of us like it, but it bears great opportunity. And that's what I love about it. You know, there's always a silver lining in everything. And look at the opportunity that so many of the American people have taken. You know, they're out there, they're like the nurses, doctors, first responders, the different companies that are stepping up to the plate and doing things. Look at all the beautiful, kind, humane, just for humankind, things that everybody is doing. Big companies, small companies, hospital workers, firemen, policemen, everybody. That's just wonderful, and it brings unity. So many people are coming together, which is a good thing. So, crisis, adversity, probably none of us want it or enjoy it, but boy, look at what it's doing. And it can do the same in your own neighborhood. I see my neighbors sitting out, some are in their 70s, some are in their 80s. They're keeping 6 or 8 feet apart, but they're out there talking to each other and sharing, and that's a wonderful thing. Another thing I want to say is, right now I'm sure we're all feeling helpless, and I understand why, and we are helpless. But you know what? We are not hopeless. We have hope. Because we have God, we have hope. So don't lose sight of your hope. You know, don't let the helplessness get you down. Just look up and feel that hope. And the last thing I want to say is, I've heard some people say, which is understandable, I can't wait till things get back to how they were, or things, you know, become the same again. I don't want things to become the same again. I hope things never go back to the way they were. Now let me explain. I hope our companies are back in business and our jobs are back and we're not locked in our houses. I don't mean that part. What I mean is the families. I don't have children at home, but I watch other YouTubers that do, and it's so wonderful to hear that they are getting together, they're spending time together because they're all stuck in the house together, they're having dinner together, wonderful conversations, people are helping people. It's just wonderful things are happening, and I just pray that that goodness that is coming out of all this remains forever and ever and never goes away. That's just my 2 cents worth. So thank you for being here today. I really enjoyed spending time with you. And until we meet again, this is the old girl signing out. See ya.